You know what's absolutely maddening about working with AI coding agents? They're brilliant one moment, then completely fucking chaotic the next. They will write perfect code for your database layer, then completely forget about it 3 prompts later when you're working on the API. They jump from task to task like rabbits on crack, losing context and making decisions that seem smart in isolation, but are completely insane when you look at it as a bigger picture. Here's the thing. If you're like most developers, you probably tried to wrangle AI agents with existing tools and you've probably been disappointed. Maybe you used Jira or Linear to track what the AI should work on, or you tried some of the newer AI-specific task management tools. The problem is that most of those tools either don't work well with AI agents, or the ones that do provide workflows that just don't fit how I or you actually think about building software. So I built my own workflow system, and that's what I want to share with you today. This is the complete system I use to keep both myself and my AI agent on track, from the initial idea all the way through to merging code into production. No more chaotic context switching, no more forgotten requirements, just a systematic approach that actually works for me. I'm going to walk you through every step of developing a real feature using my workflow and show you exactly how this prevents the chaos and keeps everything organized. By the end of this video, you will understand my system for AI-assisted development, and you can adapt it to fit your own needs. My entire development process revolves around product requirement documents, or PRDs. Now, you might call them user stories, feature specs, requirement docs, or whatever terminology you prefer, or your team prefers. The format does not matter. What matters is that they all describe in some structured way what needs to be built and why. And here's the thing. I need a workflow that forces me to do the right thing at the right time during development. And if I, as a chaotic human developer, need that kind of structure, then AI coding agents need it even more. I'm chaotic. AI models are absolutely freaking anarchic. They will jump from task to task, forget context, and make decisions that seem brilliant in isolation, but are completely insane when you look at it holistically. Now, I could be using existing tools for managing this kind of workflow, but honestly, none of them worked for me. Sure, there are plenty of options. You've got the traditional project management tools like Jira, Linear, Notion, and GitHub projects. Then there are newer tools specifically designed for AI workflows like Taskmaster or IDER's task management, and a few other MCP-enabled task managers that plug directly into coding agents. The problem is that they're all missing something I need, or they approach the workflow in the wrong order, or they just don't fit the way I actually work with AI. Some are too rigid, others are too loose, and most of them assume a development process that doesn't match how I think about building software. So I built my own solution. I created prompts for each step of my development workflow and served them through an MCP server. This way, my AI coding agents have access to structured, guided workflows right inside the development environment. No context switching, no external tools to manage, just the right prompt at the right time to keep both me and the AI on track. By the way, if you want to learn more about serving prompts through MCPs, check out that video over there. Now, let me share this workflow with you and show you exactly how it works. I'll walk through each of the commands and explain what they do and how they work together to create a structured development process that actually makes sense, at least for me. Let's start by exploring what commands are available. I will type /PRD to see all the PRD-related prompts. There we go. Here you can see all 7 commands that make up my PRD workflow. Each one handles a specific stage of the development process. We have prd-create for starting new features, prd-get for seeing what's available to work on, prd-start for beginning implementation, prd-next for figuring out what to do next, and what else? Yes, prd-update-progress and prd-update decisions for keeping everything in sync, and finally, prd-done for wrapping up and shipping the feature. Now, here's where things get interesting. I'm going to walk you through each of these commands using a real feature development process, and you will see some surprising moments where the AI shows just how powerful this structured approach really is. Let's start with prd-create, since that's where every new feature begins. Now, nearly every job today demands AI skills, and that's where Outskill, the sponsor of this video, can help. This weekend, you can join the 2-day AI Mastermind workshop by Outskill, the world's first AI-focused education platform. By just attending 16 hours with the expert mentors, learners from Outskill have built and shipped over 100 AI products, all with zero code and working revenue models of 3 to 4K. Now, this training normally costs $895, but they're giving away 1,000 free seats to my viewers just for the next 72 hours. Now, what makes this different? Well, it's just a 16 hours short commitment, which is best suited for someone with a busy professional schedule. You also get free lifetime access to Outskill's exclusive paid AI community to grow alongside more than 5,000 AI first professionals. Finally, their AI learning dashboard is super seamless to navigate, which enhances your overall learning experience. Over 10 million people have attended this training in the past year across different industries, and now it's your turn. So thank you, Outskill, for sponsoring this video. And now let's get back to the main subject. I start documenting every new feature with prd-create. This isn't just about writing documentation. This is about creating a structured plan that guides both human developers and AI agents through the entire development process. What makes prd-create powerful is that it doesn't just ask you to describe what you want to build. It actually analyzes your existing code base, researches the best implementation approaches, and creates comprehensive documentation with milestones, technical architecture, and implementation strategies. It's like having an experienced technical lead who does all the upfront research and planning for you. And here's something crucial about working with AI agents. There are two distinct phases in any complex task. There's planning and there's execution. For planning, you want the most capable model available because that's where the critical thinking happens. For execution, you can often get away with less capable and cheaper models. Claude Code gives us access to different models, so let me select the one that fits our needs for PRD creation. Perfect. You can see that I'm selecting Opus Plan mode. This is brilliant because it uses Opus for planning phases where we need deep reasoning and analysis, then automatically switches to Sonnet for execution tasks where we're just following the plan. This gives us the best of both worlds: smart planning with the most capable model and cost-effective execution with a cheaper one. Other AI agents might not have this automated switching, but the principle remains the same. Use your most capable models for planning and then switch to cheaper ones for execution. Since we are about to create a PRD and that requires deep thinking and planning, I will switch to plan mode right away. Now, let's create a PRD and see how this whole process works. Look at that. The AI immediately understands that creating a PRD is a structured process. It's asking for the essential information: the problem, the solution, the target users, and any constraints. It's also telling me exactly what it plans to do next: create a GitHub issue, analyze the existing documentation, and build a comprehensive plan. This is what I mean by structured workflow. The AI isn't just going to write some documentation and hope for the best. The AI has a clear process. Now, I'll give it my feature request. I want to add multi-model support to the MCP server I'm working on, which means moving away from being locked into just anthropic models. There we go. This is exactly what I designed the system to do. Notice how AI followed the structured process I built into the prompt. It analyzed the existing code base, researched implementation options, and created a comprehensive plan with technical architecture and clear implementation phases. But I'm not going to just accept whatever it suggests. I want to challenge its decision-making and make sure it chooses the right approach. And there we go. The AI did exactly what I wanted. It provided a comprehensive analysis of the options with clear pros and cons. After reviewing the analysis, Vercel AI SDK is indeed the right choice, or it feels the right choice for this use case. The reasoning sounds solid. Perfect. The AI presented the complete plan and is asking for approval. Notice I'm selecting yes and manually approve edits. This gives me control over each change it makes. Now, watch how it executes the plan systematically, starting with creating the GitHub issue. There we go. The AI created a GitHub issue as a placeholder for tracking mechanism. This gives us issue 73, which will be used for naming and linking. And now it is creating the actual comprehensive PRD document with all the technical details. Excellent. The AI created a comprehensive PRD document with detailed technical architecture, milestones, implementation strategy, and risk assessment. Now it's going back to update the GitHub issue with a proper link to the detailed PRD file. And there we go. The AI has completed the PRD creation. It created the GitHub issue, built a comprehensive technical document, and linked them together. And now it is moving on to actually implement the feature by starting with documentation updates. And here's something important to understand about my PRD workflow. The AI started implementing that PRD right away, but that's often not, and I repeat, not what I want. More often than not, I create PRDs the moment an idea pops in my head or when I discover an issue that needs fixing. For me, PRDs serve as an idea capture and planning system, not necessarily the immediate start of work. They are my way of keeping track of everything I should do, prioritizing features, and having a clear roadmap ready when I'm actually ready to begin development. Sometimes I create several PRDs in a day just to capture thoughts and requirements, and then I work on them weeks or even months later when priorities align. So I'll stop the AI here and tell it to hold off on the implementation. Okay, the AI successfully created a comprehensive PRD with GitHub issue tracking, and now I'll push those changes to the repository. There we go. That's the complete prd-create workflow in action. We went from a single idea to a comprehensive technical document with GitHub tracking, all the while maintaining control over the process. The AI did exactly what I designed it to do: deep analysis, research, structured planning, and professional documentation. No, maybe not professional, good documentation. Now, here's something important to understand. Even though this PRD is very detailed and should contain everything needed to work on that feature, we will almost inevitably realize that it's wrong as we progress through implementation. Requirements will change. We will discover better approaches, or we will hit technical constraints we didn't anticipate. And that is actually okay. We will see later in the workflow why having a wrong but structured plan is still infinitely better than having no plan at all. Now, let's look at the next command, PRDs get. Now we come to PRDs get, which solves a problem every developer faces: decision paralysis. When you have dozens of PRDs sitting in your backlog, how do you decide what to work on next? You could spend hours reading through them, trying to remember their priorities and dependencies, or you could let the AI do the analysis for you. What makes PRDs get powerful is that it doesn't just list your PRDs. It analyzes them intelligently, categorizes them by purpose and impact, evaluates dependencies, assesses actually priorities, and then gives you strategic recommendations about what to focus on. It's like having a technical lead who understands your entire project and can guide you in your decision making. Again, I want to use the most capable model for this analysis, so I will switch back to the plan mode. And now let me run PRDs get and see how it analyzes my entire PRDs backlog. Look at that. That's exactly what I mean by intelligent analysis. The AI didn't just dump a list of 25 PRDs and leave me to figure it out. It categorized them by purpose, analyzed the priorities, identified dependencies, and gave me strategic recommendations. It's telling me that PRD 74, or PRDs actually 74 and 73 are the most recent and highest priority, and that 38 is foundational for many AI features, and that 58 addresses critical bugs. This kind of analysis would take me hours to do manually, and it would probably miss important connections between PRDs. The AI does it in seconds and gives me actionable insights. And now that I know what PRDs are available and have strategic guidance, let's look at PRD start. That's the command that begins actual implementation work. Okay, now we get to the exciting part, PRD start. This is where ideas become reality. After creating PRDs and analyzing what's available, PRD start is the command that turns a selected PRD into actual running code. What makes PRD start different from just reading a document and starting to code is its intelligence. It doesn't just look at the PRD. It reads the entire document, analyzes your existing code base to understand the current architecture, identifies integration points, validates that dependencies are available, and then creates a comprehensive implementation plan with phases and success criteria and specific next steps. This isn't about blind code generation. It's about intelligent implementation planning that understands both what you want to build and how it fits into what you already have. So it's going to start implementation of PRD 74, which was one of the highest priority items from our analysis. This PRD is about adding pattern-driven policy generation to automatically create, govern, or deny policies from organizational patterns. Doesn't matter. It's a feature. There we go. Look at what just happened. The guy didn't just read the PRD and start coding. It conducted a comprehensive code-based analysis, examining the entire architecture, understanding how pattern management works, identifying all the integration points, and mapping out exactly how the new governor functionality will fit into the existing system. This is the kind of upfront analysis that prevents architectural mistakes and technical debt. And there we go. This is impressive. At least I think it is. The AI created a complete implementation plan with phases, success criteria, effort estimates, and specific next steps. It identified that phase 1, governor detection, should come first because it has no dependencies and provides immediate value. This isn't random coding. This is strategic implementation planning. Okay, the AI successfully created the feature branch. Now, watch how it follows through with proper Git practices by pushing the branch upstream. And now notice what the AI is doing. Proper Git workflow with feature branches. This isn't cowboy coding on main. It's creating a dedicated feature branch, pushing it upstream for tracking, and following good development practices. This kind of discipline is crucial when working with AI agents. There we go. Now you can see the AI in action. It's not just throwing code at the wall. It's showing me exactly what it wants to change, explaining why, and asking for approval. This edit adds governor detection fields to the system status interface. Doesn't matter. Again, feature, my feature. I can review it, I can understand it, and I can decide whether to proceed. This interactive approach is crucial. The AI suggests, I review and approve, and together we build something thoughtful and correct. The work on this first task might take minutes or hours or even longer depending on the complexity. We'll skip all the rest of the actual implementation work on this first task and jump to the end to see what happens when it's completed. The task, not the PRD. Perfect. I approve the commit. This is a crucial part of the workflow. We commit changes at the end of each task. That way, we can easily roll back if needed or analyze specific commits later if we need more details than what's in the PRD. Each commit becomes a clean checkpoint tied to a specific piece of work. Okay, now AI is eager to continue working and jump straight into phase 2, but I am going to stop it because we need to give it some special instructions first. Now, you might be asking, why? Well, because there is something crucial we need to do before moving forward. We need to update our progress in the PRD. Remember, this isn't just about getting the work done. It's about maintaining that structured approach that keeps both me and the AI on track. You'll see exactly why this step is so important in just a moment. Okay, so before moving to the next phase, I need to update the PRD with our progress. This is where the magic happens and why I insisted on stopping the AI earlier. The /PRD update progress command doesn't just update checkboxes. It analyzes what's actually accomplished, provides evidence of completion, and maintains a detailed work log. This is what keeps large projects organized and prevents that horrible feeling of, hey, what did we do last week? Watch how it analyzes the completed work and updates our PRD semi-intelligently. Okay, now, that's what I'm talking about. Look at the detail in this analysis. The AI didn't just say, hey, phase 1 is done. It provided evidence for each completed item, analyzed the quality of the implementation, calculated the exact progress percentages, and even created a comprehensive work log entry. This level of documentation is what makes the difference between projects that succeed and projects that fail apart. The AI is asking permission to update the actual PRD file with all this evidence-based progress. Now, watch what happens. The AI approved my request and is about to make multiple precise edits to the PRD file. It's going to mark completed items as checked and the detailed work log and update milestone progress. This is systematic project management in action, right? Perfect. The AI just updated the phase 1 implementation checkboxes. Now it's making a second edit to update the milestone progress. And let's see what happens. And what happens is the third edit, adding comprehensive work log entry. The AI is systematically updating every single relevant section of the PRD. Finally, it's going to commit all those changes to Git so we have a clear record of the progress update. And there we go. It just committed all the PRD updates with a comprehensive commit message. Now, what's the final summary? This is project management in action. That over there is the real power of keeping PRDs up to date. We are recording all the relevant information about the task we performed and the changes we made. That way, we don't have to rely on limited and fragile context or worry about what happens if we lose it altogether. We can work on the next task in a completely new or clear context. And speaking of which, let me show you what happens when we start fresh with the new session. Now, here's where things get really interesting. I'm starting a completely fresh session. The AI has no idea what we worked on, no memory of our previous conversation, no context about what was accomplished. Hell, it doesn't even know which PRD we're working on. Yet, as we'll see, it will figure it all out without us telling it anything. The /prd-next command is about to demonstrate something interesting. How proper project structure enables the AI to become instantly productive, even starting from absolute zero knowledge. So watch what happens next. The AI is going to piece together the current state by scanning multiple sources, the Git history, the current branch, the PRD documentation, and the code base itself. It's like a detective gathering clues to understand exactly where we left off. Perfect. The AI just figured out everything it needed to know. Starting from zero knowledge, it identified which PRD we were working on, analyzed the current progress, determined that phase 1 is complete, and intelligently recommended the exact next task that makes sense. It even provided a clear rationale about the effort estimate and success criteria. And this is what I mean by having an intelligent project manager. No hand-holding required. And we're off to the races. The AI immediately got to work, set up to-do, started analyzing the code base, examined the existing prompts, and began the systematic process of building the next feature. From zero knowledge to productive work in seconds. This is the elegant workflow loop in action. Start a task, work on it systematically, update progress when done, then repeat until the entire PRD is complete. Each cycle builds on the previous work. Each session can start fresh but never loses momentum, and each update keeps the project perfectly organized and trackable. Okay, here's the reality of software development. The plan changes. As we work through implementation with the AI, we discover things we missed. We find better approaches, or we realize our original assumptions were wrong. That's not a failure, that's how good software gets built. But here's the problem. If those discoveries and changes stay buried in conversation history, they're lost. The PRD becomes stale. The future work is based on outdated information. The PRD update decisions command fixes this. It analyzes our conversation with the AI, it identifies where we change the plan, and updates the PRD with those new decisions. The PRD stays current and reflects what we actually learned. And there's a perfect example right there. During our conversation, or my conversation, we just made a key architectural decision about how AI should select resources for policy generation. This wasn't in the original plan, but through working with the AI, we discovered a better approach. Now we need to capture this decision in the PRD so it doesn't get lost. Look at that. The AI just analyzed our entire conversation and extracted 5 major architectural decisions we made. It identified how our plan evolved, what changed from the original PRD, and exactly what needs to be updated. This is how you keep documentation current with reality. There we go. The AI just made the first set of updates to the PRD, but it's not done yet. It's systematically going through and updating multiple sections to reflect all the architectural decisions we made. Perfect. The AI just made comprehensive updates to the PRD, documenting all our architectural decisions, updating implementation details, adding success criteria, and even creating a detailed work log entry. Our evolving understanding is now captured in the documentation. This is the continuous improvement cycle in action. The plan evolves as we learn, and the documentation stays current with reality. No more stale PRDs, no more forgotten decisions, no more "why did we do it this way" conversations 6 months later. Everything we discover gets captured and preserved for future development sessions. And here we are. the finish line. After all the work, all the iterations, all the progress updates, it's time to properly close out the PRD. This isn't just about marking something as done. It's about following a comprehensive completion workflow that ensures nothing gets missed. The prd-done command orchestrates the entire completion process, running final tests, creating pull requests, updating documentation, closing issues, and cleaning up branches. Is the difference between amateur, hey, I think it's done, and professional or experienced, hey, I know it's properly completed with full traceability. And there we go. This shows that all the coding work is done. The PRD is complete from a development perspective, all features implemented, all tests passing, everything working, but the process isn't done yet. We still need to properly close out the project with the full completion workflow. And we're off. The AI immediately started working on the final steps. It identified this as a code implementation completion, set up the steps, and began validating everything is ready. And now it is methodically working through each step to ensure nothing gets missed. There we go. All 879 tests passed. The AI validated the quality standards and confirmed everything is working properly. And now it is moving to the next step, committing all the changes with a comprehensive commit message. Great. The commit is complete with a detailed message documenting all the changes. And the commits are now pushed to the remote branch and available for the pull request. And there we go. Look at the pull request description. The AI documented every detail, what was implemented, testing checklists, completion criteria, and even linked back to the original PRD. This is the kind of documentation that makes code reviews efficient and keeps the entire team informed. And now the PR was created successfully and the AI verified its status. Next, AI checked the PR status and found some CI/CD processes are still running, code QL analysis, security checks, and code reviews are all in progress. After a while, the AI just provided a comprehensive completion summary. Test passed, PRD updated, pull request created, issue closed. It looks like everything is done. But something doesn't seem right. Looking at the completion workflow, it appears the AI missed some steps. The completion prompt is getting quite large and complex, and some steps are getting overlooked. That's something I need to fix in the future. Okay, now I caught the oversight and the AI immediately acknowledged it. And now it is completing the missing steps, the final branch cleanup to properly close out the workflow. And there we go. It attempted the final cleanup steps, syncing with main and deleting the local branch. The local branch was already cleaned up, which is good, and it continues. Now it verified that the PR was successfully merged and the branch cleanup completed automatically. And there it is. Perfect execution, except that it forgot parts. I had to remind it. I'll fix that in the prompt later. Anyways, if you ignore that, it's almost perfect execution of the completion workflow. I caught the AI's oversight and the AI immediately corrected course and completed all the missing steps. And this is exactly how human-AI collaboration should work. The AI handles the systematic execution and humans, in this case me, provide the oversight to ensure nothing gets missed. The PRD is now fully complete with every step documented and executed from initial requirements to final deployment. Everything is tracked, tested, and ready for production. So there you have it, my complete workflow for developing features with AI assistance. We went from initial idea to merged code, covering every step of the development process with systematic precision. We worked through the entire PRD lifecycle: creation, updates, task execution, and completion. The PRD became a living document that evolved as we discovered new requirements and refined our approach. It is always staying current with reality. The workflow itself relies on simple commands like prd-update-progress, prd-next, prd-update decisions, and prd-done to systematically manage development. Each command serves a specific purpose, keeping everything organized and ensuring nothing gets missed. What I showed here is that we might not need fancy tools or complex platforms. Sometimes the most effective solution is just a few well-written prompts that guide the AI through a process. You can use those prompts through the DevOps AI Toolkit MCP, or you can copy them directly or modify them to fit your specific needs and workflow preferences. It's up to you. And if you think that there are important improvements that others would benefit from, go ahead, create a PR. The beauty of open source is that we can all contribute to making those tools better for everyone. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Cheers.